Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Healing for Humanity for June 2024. If you are new here, welcome. Quick intro is that I will share my screen soon and take you through the notes. So I have completed the healing already, and I take you through the notes of the themes and the information and the wisdom and knowledge that has come through for June 2024. If you are back for more, thank you so much for your support. Great to see you again. Please put a like down the bottom and subscribe so you can get regular updates about when these videos are being launched, plus all my other videos that I put on YouTube as well. So let's crack into it. I'm just going to share my screen and let's go. Okay. So the intentions are healing for humanity, the best and highest good for the month of June 2024. So when you have a personal soul healing with me, you can set your own intention of what is coming up for you in the moment, the need of the moment, basically. When I do a healing for humanity, I just put best and highest good to allow whatever is the priority for humanity to come through as for the healing. Okay, so it allows whatever is the need of the moment across the general humanity to come through. If I was to set an intention, I feel like I would be driving it from my own perspective, and I don't feel that is the priority for all of us. So here we go. So I am showing the jaw of the human, how the lower part of the jaw is the action aspect. So if you think about our skull and how it works, it's only this lower jaw that has the mechanism to move, right? And so it feels tight, restricted. The muscles are inflexible. If you're experiencing headaches at the moment, check your muscles around here and you might find some real tightness. We as humans seem to, when we're not speaking our truth or when we are keeping our truth in, right? Swallowing our words and stuff, we get really tight just up here. So yeah, let me know if you're having headaches at the moment too, because there's some specific points you can really work on that will hopefully ease a lot of that tension. Okay, so when we talk, there are the fixed elements, so the fixed element of our skull, and then there is the action of speaking, so this lower part. The fixed elements are our thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that we don't consciously pay attention to. The action of speaking is the expressiveness in which we give movement to our thoughts, beliefs, and patterns. So what this is saying is like, we can get really fixed in the way that we live our lives based on our thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that we aren't consciously aware of, yet like we will probably keep butting our heads across, a similar theme in life. Like, say, for instance, if you keep going to a job and butting heads with a manager, and then you think, oh, I'm going to leave this job because I can't stand this person. And then you go to the next job and you butt heads with the manager. There will be a pattern in that is actually speaking to your own internal pattern and beliefs and thoughts that is coming up for you to heal. And that's what I mean by being unconscious, but conscious to it. And what it is saying is the action of speaking. Right. So when we can naturally express ourselves, there is flow, right? And we give movement to it, which is like this part of the jaw moves freely when we are expressing ourselves freely. So there's real like a push and pull with that jaw moment. And this is quite metaphorical of how we are all in this state of the moment of some areas of our life we are living unconsciously. And what this healing is bringing through, it's like start paying attention to those patterns and behaviors coming up in life for you at the moment that feel repetitive. Right. So I am sensing that we are all feeling restricted in our expressiveness at the moment, which is causing our jaws to tighten and not move, figuratively speaking, right? So it was showing me kind of clenched jaws that we're all quite and it gets so sore and it just pulls on all our muscles and gives us a headache. So something to ask yourself at the moment, are you voicing your true self at the moment? Do you even know your true self? Where are you holding back from speaking your truth? So you might like to journal on these prompts, because I can't personally talk to you and help you to sort of evolve these questions into your own personal guidance system. Start journaling and see if something comes through for you from this healing, where you could be holding back and where you are not voicing your true self. So true expression of self are these two elements, the fixed and the fluid. Because we can't have one without the other, right? Like if we freely expressed ourselves without having our own thoughts, beliefs, and patterns, it would be very superficial, right? It wouldn't have the depth. It wouldn't actually be our truth, right? So the fixed and the fluid is very, very important. When we truly know ourselves, and this is the main theme of the healing this month, and openly witness ourselves without judgment, and instead are curious of ourselves, then we can always be in the space of the fixed, our truth. So let me just clarify that for you. When we know our belief system and we've worked on it and we've healed the ones that we don't want, I mean, that's a lifetime journey, don't get me wrong. But when you can notice a belief and also have healed a lot of negative beliefs from, let's say, your childhood, because that's where they're all formed, it's when we can reflect and kind of decide which beliefs we do want, which ones serve us, and then let go of the rest. We can be in our truth more when we are operating on beliefs that we are not consciously aware of, that are negative and that are not serving us. We're not really aligned with our truth in that aspect. And this will show up in life with, say, arguments or frustrations with people, random strangers, family, friends, like anyone. You'll see a pattern kind of come at you, really. That's how the universe likes to deliver. And it's paying attention to that. So rather than being in this whole, I'm annoyed with this person, and this person, get curious. Don't get judgmental. Like, we're all learning here. Get curious about that and kind of go, what's this showing me? Because, like if you can see a theme in your frustration with all the different people in your world, turn it on yourself. That's the shadow work, right? Turn it on yourself and kind of go, how is this reflecting back to me at the moment? So this is what this aspect is saying, where if we can openly witness ourselves without judgment and get curious instead, then we can always be in the space of knowing our true beliefs, thoughts, and feelings type thing. That is our truth, right? When we don't truly know ourselves, we block ourselves. We don't look and witness our patterns and our behaviors or want to understand our beliefs and thoughts. So, we all have moments like this where we can come up against a brick wall with someone, or are showing a real frustration in our lives, be it anything really. If we're not willing to look at the aspects in ourselves that are ready to be healed, then we don't truly get to know ourselves. We don't truly get to understand what makes us tick, what makes us behave the way we want to, like behave the way we behave, basically. And when we can't look at that, then there is no growth. There is no evolution of our own souls, our journey, and stretching ourselves, because the more we can look at these aspects of ourselves with love and kindness, the more we get to witness and be aware of how life starts to get in flow again, how we can align with our truth. And then once we align with our truth, you'll start to see just either people disappear from your lives, jobs may change, you might decide to change completely and go and get a totally different job, which is totally the right time for you. Like It's noticing those switches that start to happen once we start to do the internal work. Right. So this is caused through trauma. When we don't want to look at ourselves, when we don't want to truly know ourselves, when, say, we know we have this fear, but we don't want to look at it, don't even want to know it, it's like Pandora's box. You know, we sort of bury it, but it's never buried because the body always remembers, right? So this is caused through trauma that may have happened earlier in life, maybe even later in life. But when we don't process our trauma, it sort of tends to turn into fear. So trauma creates fear. And sometimes we can't necessarily connect with, we can't necessarily connect the fear to that trauma. It can be so buried, so we just don't want to look at it. So we bury it, bury it, bury it. But yet how the body shows you is through a fear of something that's feels unrelated, but will be related, if you know what I mean. Because when we, yeah, it's that whole, if we don't process the trauma, there will be a way that this still comes back for you to heal. This is still here for you to heal. And you may have done a lot of work already on your trauma and still find you have fears around different things. It's okay. You're still healing, you know, but it's still having an openness to witness that of yourself and be kind and compassionate of yourself. And then you can kind of go, right, I'm feeling this fear. I know what it's related to. I can hold space for myself now. And you'll find the fear, you know, dissipates or it will ease. And that's what we want. We just want ease. So if we go through the lines, this is caused through trauma. This is when we don't want to truly look at ourselves. Trauma creates fear. The fear of being our true, authentic selves. So we turn away from our truth. So how can I put this into an example? So a fear of being our true, authentic selves. Perhaps it's a case of speaking up for yourself and you don't feel like you can. So let's do a rewind. So if you're finding you can't speak up for yourself right now and you have a fear of this, where does the fear come from? Okay, if you look back through your timeline, and it probably could be subconscious because at a very early age, you may have had a parent that you may have tried to ask for something or a need or a want and just got shot down by your parent. And let's not, you know, ditch on parents at the moment. It's very natural. But this is how you internalized that fear. So this little kid over here, your inner child now, is so fearful of speaking up because of the trauma that when they were little got yelled at and felt so awful about themselves that they've blocked that side of that, they've blocked that sort of part of them within them. And so again, this is where we may not be consciously aware of where that's coming from, but until we understand where it's coming from, we cannot release that fear in the now of being able to stand up for ourselves or speak our truth type thing. And so this is where if we can't speak our truth, then we are swallowing our words, we are keeping our jaw tight, we are feeling the anger inside, but not able to voice it. And it just keeps in the body. So the body keeps the score, right? It just holds on to that anger and it's not expressed. And this is that loop that we get into with trauma, fear, and then not speaking our truth. So I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, we live in these two worlds of one, being what we think we need to be in any given time or place. So this is when we can't speak our truth. Or two, hating ourselves for not being the person we think we need to be in any given time or place. So what does this mean? Okay, so in option one, it is like a mask. Every time we are out around people, we may put on this mask and we are trying to be what we think we need to be in any given time or place, I can relate to this a lot. And I think it's pretty natural when you're with different groups of people, and if you are not confident and strong in knowing who you are, then you'll conform to what that group of people, what you perceive the person you need to be in that group of people, and then it will change, right? So you might be a different person to when you are with family, to when you are with friends, to when you are with workmates, and this is not necessarily being your true authentic self, right? So that's one area that's coming up. And then the second area is hating ourselves for not being the person we think we need to be. So you can wear these masks if that feels comfortable to you, if you feel like that aligns with who you are in any given moment. The number 2 version, though, is when we berate ourselves and talk ourselves down and bully ourselves really for not being better. And we don't need that. We don't need to be that person, right? So for us to be balanced in the jaw, we need to truly know and witness ourselves. Then the bottom jaw part can move freely, honestly, and openly without restriction, tightness, or withholding. I mean, I personally have been on this journey now for 4 or 5 years, I think, of trying to figure me out. And it's a process, because if you've spent all your life not really knowing who you are, it takes a while to strip back the layers. And we're always learning, right? So I'm not going to stand here and go, yes, I know myself truly and honestly, but I am willing to witness it and observe it and get curious about it. So I am definitely learning every day, but I am being shown the inside of the mouth as well. This came through. And the teeth, this is all metaphorical. It's like the teeth are our beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, and they are which shape our mouth and jaw. And if you think about it, the teeth are almost the barrier, right? So they are what creates the mouth. And the tongue is our spirit, the active, fluid mover of all things that come into the mouth. If we had no tongue, we could not swallow. And basically that's saying, like, if we had no spirit, we could not live. So there's a real play on what's happening in the mouth as well. So even though we're talking about the fixed and the fluid part of our true selves and how we express ourselves, it's like going a layer deeper in the mouth. It's like knowing that our beliefs and thoughts and emotions shape us, and that our spirit is the one that's keeping us going and moving and living and experiencing all this. It's like a beautiful play on words here. So the mouth is our core receiver of food, therefore our nutrition, goodness, vitality, and it's all in the choices of food we choose to put into our bodies. And if you think about that, it's like we can look at this. This represents energy. What energy are we allowing into our sphere? So even though, we've sort of looked at this in a metaphorical way, it's like it's a metaphor for how we live life. What energies are you allowing into your system? Who are you spending time with? Are they boosting your energy or are they draining your energy? Are you fearful in their energy? Like, are you actually willing or able to stand in your truth, around these people or the energies that you're in? So, another journal prompt I would really encourage you to look at is, if you think about different aspects, like, so if you have family, if you have work, if you have, different groups of friends, have a think about the energies in each of those parts of your life and how that feels to you. Because this is like, you know, protecting yourself, basically, protecting what is allowing you to be in your truth? If you feel like you can't truly live in your truth in one aspect of your life, how can you work with that? Because it's not healthy. It's not healthy, and it takes a very brave, courageous soul to walk away from, say, a group of friends or something because it isn't sustaining you. So how does this energy transmute into our bodies once it has been chewed by our beliefs, thoughts, and emotions? That more means that when we are in groups of people and we are picking up on this energy, we are using our beliefs and thoughts and emotions as sort of the filter, so to speak. So it's still our perspective, right, on this energy, but what we believe is what we hold on to. So if we believe negatively about ourselves and someone makes a comment about us, which is we take as negative, it might not even be meant in a negative way, but our own beliefs have us thinking that it's a negative. We take that energy in and we allow it to stay in our body because we believe that about ourselves, sadly. And that's what this question is about, like being aware of how this energy is all transmuted into our bodies by our beliefs, thoughts, and emotions. And so paying attention to what we are allowing into our bodies. So at which point does this energy become sustenance for us, where our spirit is receiving this and welcoming this? So what is boosting your energy and what is draining your energy? Start to pay attention to that. We want to be in loving, vibrant, supportive energies because that is what sustains us. That is what keeps us in a high vibration. That's what keeps us living and loving life. So pay attention to any energies that bring you down. Why do they bring you down? What do you believe about yourself to allow them to bring you down? And do you need this in your life, basically? So the mouth is the channel of what we receive and what we choose to express. So, we've kind of looked at the outer mouth with the flow and the fixed, and then the inside of the mouth. What are we choosing to allow into our energy right now? Well, there we go. What are you choosing to allow in? I think that should be, let me do a quick. What are you choosing to allow in? How well do you know your true self in understanding what is good for you, what is cultivating your spirit, so what is boosting your spirit, and what is sustaining you? What is keeping you alive, basically? Therefore, coming back to how are you expressing yourself or not expressing yourself, so the case may be. So this whole flow of understanding what we are allowing into our bodies also needs to correlate to, well, then are we expressing it? Are we expressing our true self? Are we really standing in our power, sharing our opinion with love and kindness, and allowing that to be free of our bodies? We have to truly express ourselves for the energy to be able to flow and leave our bodies if it's a negative and stuff. But if we're constantly holding back and swallowing and shoving it down, it's just not a healthy expression of ourselves. It just sits in there being negative and ugh. So when our jaw becomes tight, we are holding back from truly expressing ourselves. So if you notice that you've got a sore jaw at the moment, ask yourself, where are you holding yourself back? Where are you not speaking your truth? Or what are you clamping shut on, right? When we are not expressing ourselves, we are holding in what we do not feel safe to share. And look at, why don't you feel safe? What are the perceived repercussions that you are reading into if you were to honestly share? If you don't feel safe to share, maybe to family, it might be your attachment style, because you've learned in the past that if you share your true opinion, that they're going to scoff at you and tell you that's just stupid, and so you give up. But you're still there wanting their love and attention. So learning your attachment style can just help you to understand that aspect of yourself, as in if you notice that you don't feel comfortable sharing with your family because of the perceived negative feedback that you're going to get, then maybe you don't share your expression there, but you need to share it elsewhere. You need to have a safe space to share that as well. So it's figuring out the balance and what works for you, what environment you need to be in to feel at your most truth. Okay. When we hold in what we do not feel safe to share, we disrupt our true energy flow. When we are not in our true energy flow, we get dis-ease. And what that means is, like I'm saying, like if you keep swallowing your truth, not sharing what you truly feel, your opinion, or you need to speak up, but you just don't feel like you're able to, all of this energy just gets shoved into our bodies, and that disrupts the natural flow, right? So let's say an ideal human being in flow is able to speak freely, able to speak their opinion without shame, without perceived negativity, coming back at us. They're in flow, right? And so their bodies are in flow, the energy is in flow. But as soon as we sort of shove that down, we're not in flow. We're not in flow. And that causes like a break in our body, in our rhythm, in our energy systems. And so that is where disease starts within us. Even from a simple cold. If you are getting a simple cold, look at who is frustrating you in your life at the moment. You will find someone. So there are many, many layers to how our body shows us that there is a block in our energy, and we need to work with that. Okay. So what does this mean? As a humanity, we are getting sicker and sicker for many reasons. But for this healing, the clear message is, who are you truly? This does not mean we all get to go and voice our truth bombs all over the show and cause hurt and regret towards others. No, like we need to use discernment. We need, we need to voice our opinion in the right space, in the right energy, and to the right people. So then, it's not just going, I'm in my truth now and I'm just going to go rah, rah. Like, that ain't going to win you no friends. But being able to voice your truth in a compassionate and kind way, still voicing your truth, but done in a way that feels good to you, is far more healthier than either swallowing it down or just going rah and letting it out. So all this is saying too is when we truly know who we are, what serves us, what sustains us, what is good nutrition for us, I'm speaking in energy wise, we are in flow. And when we are in good flow, our body is in good flow, and then we're not getting sick. Okay. So what this means is that if we do not truly know ourselves, like ourselves, I think there is an energy block. We cannot express our truth, and we hold all that toxicity within our bodies. Like I say, just shoving it down, staying quiet, not speaking up. If you were to truly know yourself, you would feel only love for yourself. Anger at what other people do or don't do would no longer frustrate you, because you would see the truth in the situation and know that that anger is within you and that you can love yourself through whatever is coming up for you. We do not need to verbalize our anger, but we do need to verbalize our truth with love for self. So what I mean by that, because yes, we do need to verbalize our anger if it causes us pain and frustration, and we need to share that with the person who caused that. In saying that, though, we need to look within as to why that anger was caused in the first place, and is it something within us that we are not willing to see? So I absolutely am all in for speaking your truth. That's what it's saying, but not in an angry way. And look at what are you trying to achieve by saying that, basically? if you're trying to get people to see things from your perspective, they probably won't, because they have their own perspective and you cannot change anyone else. So this is a real, I hope you understand the flow of what I'm trying to say. It's like, if you know yourself, you would only feel love for yourself, because if someone irritated you, you could easily kind of go, I know that. I know why that is triggering me. I love myself fully and completely. I know that this is triggering, a part of me that I'm still not willing to see. But I'm holding space for that. So, because it's never about the other person. I mean, yes, they can come at you yelling and shouting and calling you names and saying all this horrible stuff, right? That's on them. That is on them. What they are saying is a reflection of them. And they are trying to express themselves, but if it's up to us what we allow in, right? So if someone is yelling at us in an angry way and we take it in, it's because we believe it's right, it's true about ourselves, and it might not be a thing we love about ourselves. So can you see that correlation? It's like, if someone was yelling at you abuse and anger and everything, and you didn't believe it, you didn't truly believe it, you would literally kind of go, whatever. I'm not allowing that energy in. That's yours. You can take that right back. Can you see the difference? It's like when we take in other people's anger or harsh comments and stuff, it's because deep inside we actually believe it. So that's where we need to do the internal work to, figure out what is triggering us, what part of us is allowing us to accept this. But yeah, when you've fully healed that and someone can, I don't know, call you names or whatever, and you know that that's not you, you'll easily go, that's sorry, that's nothing off me. Like water off a duck's back. That's the difference. That is the difference when you can truly see yourself, know yourself, and understand your own triggers and beliefs and feelings and thoughts. So, there we go. How well do you know yourself, or are willing to witness yourself? And this is the game of life. This is the true game of life. How well do you know yourself? Do you know why you're getting triggered? Do you know what upsets you? Do you know why? And this is not labeling people as good or bad. Nothing in this world is good or bad. Everything is neutral. It's only what we put a label on. And so if you're willing to witness yourself and observe yourself, like, oh, why did I react like that? Why did that trigger me so much? Keep looking back at what it means for you. These other people are here to help you heal. They are the ones that are going to bring you these triggers, irritate you, frustrate you, all to allow you to heal. That's the game of life. And when you can get curious about it and not judge it, then you can have some fun with it, basically. So I can see now this flow of energy around the jaw when we are willing to notice our own truth, which creates this flow of energy within the mouth, right? The teeth and the tongue, of what we then choose to consume, what we allow, the energy, what energy we allow to or choose to be around, and how this affects our overall energy and flow of expressing our true self to the world. Okay, so that is the healing complete. And interestingly enough, my computer started to run very slowly, to stay unhealthy, and I had to close all my computer down, like all the running apps, which is like a declutter, and do a scan, which is a check-in, what is going on with my computer, to get it back to running smoothly. And this just felt like such a metaphor for what this healing is trying to express to us. So when we start to get sick or ill or feel tired or lethargic, start to do a scan and a declutter of your life and look at what's draining my energy, what's frustrating me, what's making me angry, what am I not expressing, and do a check-in. So let's do the clearing now. So for anyone who this is their first healing, what happens now is the clearing is basically all the energy we want to remove from our energy fields. We want to clear that out And then we do the embedding, which is next, and which is like coming along and sprinkling little magnets into our energy field. And this is what we want to draw more in and grow and nurture. So like weeding the garden, clearing is pulling out the weeds, and embedding is planting the new seeds of what we want to grow. So I will quickly read through both sections. So clearing. Tightness and restriction in the jaw, imbalances in the jaw with not knowing my fixed self to allow my action self to be freer. Fixed in our beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, and not willing to witness these without judgment. Unable to speak my truth because I am not willing to see my truth. Not wanting to know my truth. Not understanding the flow of my energy that allows me to use discernment around my own energy. Not paying attention to what crap I'm putting in my mouth. Not willing to see which beliefs, thoughts, or emotions are blocking me from changing and evolving into a more sustainable version of myself. Not willing to verbalize my needs and wants through fear of being criticized and judged. Not truly knowing if I truly want it or not. I don't know who I truly am. I don't want to know who I truly am for fear I might not like myself. Blocking my flow of energy and causing disease within my body for fear of not speaking my truth or knowing my truth. And amen. And if amen is triggering for you, just so it is basically all I am saying. Right, so the embedding. I am free and sovereign. I am willing to see my truth and hold space for myself as I learn who I truly am. I am no longer afraid to hold space for me and witness me, all parts of me. I want to know my truth and feel free to express myself. I can love me. I'm willing to start trying. I release all tension, restriction, and tightness in my throat now by truly expressing myself with love and compassion for me. I choose what energy I invite into my sphere and allow only that which sustains me and is nutritional for me. I honor my beliefs, thoughts, and emotions and release now any negative ones that are holding me back from seeing my truth, being my truth, and knowing my truth. I release all trauma that has kept me in fear of speaking my truth. I am fearless, I am brave, I am strong, and I love learning more about myself, which then empowers me to live, breathe, and speak my truth on a daily basis. Amen. And so it is. So now I do a card reading, and I use the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle deck. And so I will just pull up now what that came through. So the first card, protection. Now is the time to protect your energy. Pay attention to that which surrounds you and doesn't raise your vibration and instead drains it. Exactly what's coming through in the healing. Pay attention and protect yourself. Transformation. This healing is bringing to your awareness all that is ready to be healed. So deep healing is occurring now. So it's no coincidence that you are here listening to this healing. And thank you for still being here at the end of the healing. It is bringing to your awareness an aspect of yourself that is ready to be healed. So pay attention to those journal prompts and what is coming up for you. The next is break the chain. Healing your ancestral patterns is vital for you to step into your own truth. Are the beliefs you hold yours? It's really interesting when you start to look at your beliefs, and sometimes they can be your parents, whoever you grew up with, guardians, brothers, sisters, because you just took them on as your own. But now you are at an age where you can use your own discernment as to whether is this belief serving me or am I ready to let it go? So break that chain. This is ancestral patterns that we continue if we don't look at our own thoughts around that. Is your life a conditioned version of what you think your parents want for you? And look, all our parents love and care for us and want the best for us, but it's their version of what is best for us. So look at where you are, and is this the life that you want to be living? Or is this the life you thought you should be living and should make you happy, and yet it's not? That is no one's fault. It's just where you are right now, and where you are is perfect. It's just now time to get clear on what lights you up and what it is you do want. Okay. Starseed. If you are watching this healing, you are a starseed, here with a double mission. Follow what your soul is calling for you to do. I think it's supposed to be for you to do. Focus on what lights you up and brings light into your heart. I mean, this is what this healing is all about as well. It's like follow your passions, follow what makes you happy, follow what brings you joy. And even if no one else gets it or understands it, who cares? If you love doing it, do it. This is what a starseed is. The higher you can raise your vibration, the more that you can lead and show and help others to find theirs. And that's the double mission. Last card is yes. Where this healing connected for you today is a yes. Start healing this aspect today. And if you are not sure of how to start healing or where to go or what to do, please reach out and I can help and answer some questions or point you in the right direction as to what might be a good starting point for you. Like that came through in the healing is those attachment theories. I'll see if I can put a link in for a quiz, which might help you to discern which attachment type you are. And then you can start to look at your life from that angle. It might shed a lot of light into the behaviors that you do have already and just didn't understand. So that is the healing for humanity for today, for June 2024. I'm putting up my details there so that you can have a look. Thank you so much if you have managed to stay on this video until here. Please subscribe and like so that we can do more of these every month and gain more wisdom and knowledge together. Thank you so much.